Alrighty. Just putting it at neutral for now. Audio does work, which is good. Going to be starting in 2 minutes. I want to make sure everyone gets notified by this. All right. We're going to get started at 8:40 if you're just tuning in. Going to make sure everyone is settled in. There is 2 things that we're going to talk about in this live stream. Man, I have really bad, oh man, I have bad allergies. I mean, I went to a house full of puppies. It was just a dream. It was a dream come true for me. All right, let's get started. So, good evening, everyone. We are going to be talking about the upcoming severe weather that might occur next Monday or Tuesday, depending on what day it will occur. It's going to be somewhere around those 2 days. We do have a trough that's going to make its way from the west occurring, and it's going to occur and cause some severe weather to occur. Right now, the chances of seeing like some sort of severe weather or something like that, the chances are for we don't, okay, so apparently we do not know the exact details if it's going to be a severe weather outbreak or are we dealing with a low end severe weather threat. We're going to take a look at that real quick. But this is what we're going to have to wait until we get into like 4 to 5 days later so we can provide better details on what could occur. So right now we're going to take a look at our models. So before I dive into this, I wanted to say we're also going to talk about the tropics because there is something interesting developing in the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm going to also talk about that. But for now, let's start off with the severe weather and what's going to happen. So this is today, right? This is today. Here's our jet stream. You can see it's becoming it's a bit active right now. We're not seeing any zonal flow. We're not in a calm period of severe weather, but but there is a chance that we could end up becoming a little bit quieter for now. But right now it's active. So we're going to dive into this. So here's our jet stream. Right now we got this this trough right here that's going to dip all the way down. It's going to dip all the way down like to Michigan. Michigan is definitely going to experience some cooler weather up there. They're definitely going to be experiencing the lows maybe into the 30s. Which is pretty cold for this time of the year. Definitely normal for them in Michigan. I mean, they're used to the cold. So, I mean, it's not surprising for them. Also, Wisconsin is going to get in the action as well. So yeah, this low is going to dip down. Whoever's in this jet stream right here, like in Illinois, Iowa, and Indiana, you're going to experience some strong. You're going to experience some winds. Right now, I am experiencing some winds outside my house right now because this low right here, or this low trough, is dipping down right now, and it's going to bring in some pretty. It's going to be windy tomorrow. Definitely, it's going to be a windy situation for me. But as tomorrow goes, everything like New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and northern Pennsylvania are all going to experience some very cool temperatures up there. There is a chance for like temperatures into the 30s, maybe even the high 20s. Like in some isolated areas, will definitely be into the high 20s. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And then that will go away, and it's going to bring another cool down here. That's like, I think this is round 2, and you can see cooler temperatures are going to spread out into like Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. Even my city in St. Louis definitely going to experience some cold temperatures as well. Probably our lows are expected to be in the middle 30s, like 35 degrees is our low, and our high is going to be 60. Which is actually not that bad, but when it comes to like at night and it's like freezing, it's gonna be cold. 30 degrees or below, I'm just free. I mean, actually 20 degrees or below, I'm just freezing like really bad. But it's not gonna last that long. We're gonna experience a ridge that's gonna occur, bringing the temperatures back to warm, or we're gonna experience some more warm temperatures. Across like the entire almost the entire chunk of us are going to experience it. It's going to feel really nice. Some of us are probably going to experience some heat still, but I mean, if you're in the South, you're definitely not going to. I don't think the heat's going to stop for you anytime soon. So that's really unfortunate. But yeah, this ridge is going to be there, but there's a reason why there's ridging going on. As you can see, you look at this, we have a trough that's about to occur, that's about to come in, definitely going to spark some sort of rainmaker in California. And then once it goes over the Rockies, it's going to actually become a classic bowling ball trough over here. That's going to sit there for a little bit. It's also going to be a little bit cut off according to the 18Z. Actually, it looks pretty cut off to me. It means that this trough is not connected to the jet stream at all. And then once it just moves again, it's going to catch up to that jet stream. And then it's going to negatively tilt itself towards the Great Plains. And that's where our severe weather potential is going to occur around Monday. I'd say Monday's the threat. Monday's something I would watch out for if you're in like Iowa, Nebraska, Omaha. You can see the low-level jet is at like 88 knots, meaning it's like probably over 100 miles per hour. This is 500 millibar height and wind, so this is like above the surface. So this is not like 100 mile per hour winds on ground. That's not how it works. But yeah, you can see a very classic negatively tilted trough here. That's definitely going to spark some sort of severe weather during secondary season. And then after that, it's going to leave us alone and bring in some cooler temperatures over there. But again, this pattern this pattern is after that trough, the pattern is going to be uncertain. Like we don't exactly know what's going to happen. Like for example, some and then some zonal flow, and then boom, some sort of something occurs. Even though this is like 300 hours out, I don't think this is going to happen. You got some a little bit of a zonal flow going on there, but right now a lot of things are uncertain with that. But the only thing I think this is what's going to happen is that we could see this trough being negatively tilted. I can see this occurring next week. I really do. So yeah, severe weather is returning. I do see that happen. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at let's look at our dew point here, because we need to check our moisture. We need to check our CAPE. We need to check everything in case we do we need to check those, because those are ingredients for severe weather. Here's our moisture. Everyone's gonna be nice and like it's gonna be very dry. And then later on, this trough over here is going to build up moisture. All right, and then Sunday, I think Colorado has the potential to see some isolated severe weather, maybe over here as well, but that's going to be uncertain right now. And then once that trough's going to be pushed to the east, you can see some dry line, see some interesting dry line features occur with this. You got dew points in the 50s over here in Kansas, or middle 50s. And you got dew points just on the other side, just at 35, which is actually, this is actually a sign for severe weather to occur. And if you look at our sounding here with our Kansas storm, I mean, the GFS doesn't show really much with this. Like this model is just really, it's not really like showing a very bad severe weather outbreak or anything. I do see this as an isolated severe weather event. I mean, yeah, look at this. Not a bad curvature on the hodograph. And then we got some dew point. Our dew point is 54, but our temperature is 68 degrees. So I do see there is some signs of severe weather. We got a little nudge there as well. Definitely a sign to look at. You got some spacing in the dew point from the temperature, which is actually also a great classic look to it. But the only problem I have with this is probably due to the dew point and temperature not being as impressive, if at all. I mean, this could end up not not verifying at all in general. So yeah. Hey man, how are you? How are you, Clint? I'm just doing my own thing, just knowing what this means. That's all. I'm just showing what could occur. I'm not like, hey, this is gonna be a tornado outbreak. I mean, this could end up being an isolated severe weather maker for now until the models can change. But like I said, models can change. We could end up seeing this could end up doing nothing, or we could see this end up doing something here. It's going to flip flop all over the place. So but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out in case we do need to chase this. In case I have not chased in like since May. I've not storm chased in a long time. I would go for a tornado intercept if there were a chance. And for now, Nebraska looks pretty favorable. I do like Nebraska. I really do. But yeah. If the cap were to break down here, I do see that occurring. But right now, Oklahoma, I'm not sure about them. So yeah. So that's pretty much it with that. So let's look at our cape real quick. I know I should have checked the cape with the sounding, but it's okay. Dallas, Texas. Is that where you're from? So here's our cape with this upcoming trough. We got cape in like right around 900 or 1,000 cape over here in southern Nebraska. That's actually pretty decent. That's a pretty decent look. I mean, it's the same area. This looks pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Over here in Nebraska, Cape isolated spot of 1,000 joules per kilogram. I do see this as a severe. I do see this area over here verifying if the timing is the same or the placement is the same. And yeah, some models have been uptrending this trough a lot. That's about to occur. The European has been disagreeing with this because European. I mean, but European is a really good model, and I mean, this could end up being like a very not so favorable trough. But yeah, but the way it looks and the way it has, I think we could see some severe weather occur. Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that my dream is to always go to Texas. I never chased in Texas before, which is something I want to do next year, or maybe in secondary season if Texas does end up exploding. Let's see what Kansas has to say. No, I don't like that. I think Nebraska looks really Nebraska looks pretty favorable. Cape is still in the 900s right here. I'm gonna look at Oklahoma. I'm gonna see what Oklahoma has to say. I think there's gonna be a cap in place down there. And yes, I am right. There is a cap in place. So Oklahoma's definitely not looking pretty favorable, in my opinion. If you're now just tuning in, I am talking about the severe weather right now that's about to occur. That may occur next week. Right now, we don't exactly know the timing, how strong or how big this event is going to be. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out just in case we need to end up that I need to end up chasing this or something. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out. But don't panic if you live in like Omaha or somewhere around the rural areas. I don't think anyone's going to really be paying attention, but I would say cities like Omaha, Kansas City, I would definitely be paying attention to this trough over here that could occur. Definitely want to be on the lookout. Alrighty, let's look at our SPC outlook right now. So here it is. Here's our SPC outlook, the Storm Prediction Center. It could happen. I mean, for you guys, if you're talking about this upcoming trough, for you guys, I don't see much of a big deal for you unless this trough shifts to the south, which it can happen. It can end up being like Oklahoma being the main area or maybe Texas. I mean, this trough can move all over the place with new updates as time goes on. So, I mean, we could see Texas verifying if it gets the chance. So yeah, here's today's outlook. Nothing too crazy. Tornado threat's pretty close to zero. Wind and hail threat are going to be the main focus for today. I think it's ongoing right now. Day 2 doesn't look interesting. Day 3 also doesn't look interesting. We're gonna be in a quiet pattern for a little bit until maybe day 8. I think we could see I think day 8 is something we might have an active weather. We might get some activity occur on day 8 because that's when we could see something occur. All right, so here's our current hazards. And the northern plains are definitely experiencing some freeze warnings right now, and I was right about them. I was not surprised seeing these warnings because of how the temperatures are just dropping close to in the 20s, 30s, and that's their lows. Hopefully farmers are protecting their crops. That's pretty much it. And we also have these warnings over here, which is probably from the hurricanes that occurred in Florida and stuff like that. Hurricane Milton we still got some flood warnings from Hurricane Milton. All right. So here is our day 6 through 10 temperature outlooks. Everyone, or I'd say in the upper Midwest, like Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan, they're all going to be way above the average. I think most of us are going to be above average, even in the Northeast, in Florida. California definitely going to experience it. Nevada, Oregon, Washington. I don't know about you guys. I'm always curious about Washington. I mean, Washington deserves to be above the average. So, yeah, everyone, let's hope for Washington. We need to pray for them. They need above average temperatures. Let's look at our 8 to 14 temperature outlook. And unfortunately, Washington is going to be below the average. Definitely going to be a little bit cooler up there. But then over here, for most of us in the U.S., are going to experience above average temperatures, which is actually going to feel really nice yet very hot for us. Not very hot, but hot. So everyone is going to experience that. Let's look at our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Everyone in the Northeast is definitely going to experience below average precipitation. Definitely not going to experience much rain. And you got something occurring in California, which is a little bit below. And then you got Texas, Washington being above like the precipitation, going to experience some more rain and stuff like that. So that's good signs. And then 8 to 14, here's our precipitation outlook for that. Pretty much the same thing a little bit, but you know, up here is more like likely for rain, and over here is more drought. We might see more drought conditions occur in Arizona, but I mean, it's not going to be as bad. It's not bad. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. But am I missing something? Oh yeah, I am. All right, let's look at our European model with this upcoming trough. I should have just went through, I should have just talked about the European. Just DMing my friend real quick before I talk about this. Okay, here we go. So here's our jet stream for according to the European. I am on the 12Z. Here's our trough here, a classic cutoff bowling ball trough that could occur. But according to the European, it is also negatively tilted, but the low-level jet isn't as crazy as the GFS is saying, but it still shows a negatively tilted trough occurring on Monday, which the GFS or the European does agree on with this. So, man, I mean, I was kind of wrong about the European model being like lazy. But and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I mean, there is going to be signs of severe weather for next week. Let's look at our precipitation type rate. See if we do get see if we do get some in here. Here's Monday. Nebraska and Kansas looking pretty favorable. We could see some storms fire up somewhere around there if that gets the chance. Oklahoma and Texas, there's nothing much going on down there, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, this is an area to watch out for. So, let's do our GFS real quick. Precipitation type. Here's our precipitation. Here's our upcoming negatively tilted trough. It does show it being more linear than usual, but again, a lot of uncertainty still remains. Got 996 millibar low pressure system. I think it was like, yeah, it gets a little stronger when it goes over like the Rockies. So, and that's pretty much it. And as you can see, when I go over here, there is some snow occurring in New York. So snow is possible up there, including over here, like northern Pennsylvania. So yeah, New York is going to experience some snow. Even Wisconsin is also going to get some snow as well. Ooh. I'm wondering if there's a chance for thunder snow up there in Lake Erie. It looks pretty favorable for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. I'm going to be talking about the upcoming hurricane, or not hurricane, but it's a development. So our 2-day, or let's look at our 7-day. We don't have any named storms right now. It's a little like quiet for now. I'm not saying it's going to be quiet forever, but we do have a disturbance out here in the Atlantic Ocean this time, not in the like Caribbean or anything. But there is actually an area of interest somewhere around the Caribbean Sea. That's something we got to keep an eye out on. We could see an area of development occur in the Caribbean Sea because of how warm and hot the waters are right now. This can sound the alarms. It can sound the alarms. Whoever lives in like the Gulf states, would be paying attention to this. But right now, don't panic because we don't know the exact details on this. So definitely enjoy the days. Just keep staying updated. Here's our development. Here's our disturbance right here. A 40% chance of forming in the next 7 days. The chances of it uptrending is there. I do see it becoming a higher chance, like maybe like a 50% in like in tomorrow or afterwards. But this is something to keep an eye out on, and in case this does develop into like a depression or maybe a tropical storm. Here, so here it is. We're right here. But other than that, we are not experiencing much after that. But yeah, and here's our interesting bubbling convection over here that could become an area of interest as well in the Caribbean Sea. Definitely needs to be watched because the seas are on fire. They really are. But the good news is, after Milton and Helene occurred, the Gulf of Mexico waters are starting to cool down a little bit. Hopefully that can really weaken. Hopefully once like this, whatever it's about to occur in from the Caribbean, hopefully it weakens. But right now I just don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. Hopefully we don't experience that. But I'm gonna look at the models real quick. Let's go back to Pivotal. So let's look at our tropical Caribbean. So here's our Caribbean Sea, right in here. That is it right here. According to the 18Z GFS, let's see if anything does develop, or it doesn't end up developing. I mean, it does show it's just moving over here, making landfall as like maybe a tropical depression or maybe a low-end tropical storm. Nothing too crazy, and then it just dies out completely. But then if you look over here, we got some sort of hurricane, some sort of low-end hurricane occurring north of Puerto Rico. It's from the development of interest in the Atlantic. So we could end up seeing a classic hurricane here. It doesn't look too major in my opinion. I do think it's just going to stay as like a category 1 if it does. But then once again, these are models. We are like 150 hours out. So if this were to happen, it's definitely going to be monitored. But hopefully this trough that's going to occur for the severe weather will just drift it away, not causing any harm. So yeah, if you look, I mean, this is pretty interesting to look at, because if you look, it's moving to the west, and then it's just stops and stalls because of that trough that's about to occur with that's about to happen, and then boom, just takes off immediately, getting absorbed by that negatively tilted trough that's about to occur next week. So this is going to be a very interesting pattern. Very interesting pattern for sure. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if anyone has any questions about the upcoming severe weather or tropics. If you have any questions, whoever's in the chat here, feel free to ask them to me. I will definitely provide answers for you guys for the next 5 minutes before I shut off the stream. Hello. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me right now. I'm just gonna sit here until. Oh, actually, I have to go. This is actually kind of serious. I'm gonna stop the live stream for now. I gotta check on something real quick, but I appreciate to those who just tuned in. Appreciate it. Definitely will provide another update in the next few days for if we do end up seeing something occur. But right now it's a little uncertain. So thank you all for tuning in.